And what we do is we break down social media for businesses, places, for shopping centres and everything in between. We break down what other people are doing at the moment around the UK, what's working, what's not, and then we break it down into sort of like little bite-sized chunks for you guys to then be able to sort of either emulate or use as inspiration and do it yourself as well. Today we're looking at beauty, and one of the reasons why we're doing that is because there's so many amazing sort of, well, I say beauty, but we're looking at sort of like beauty, wellness, that sort of thing. And the reason why we're doing that is because there's some incredible beauty brands, some amazing independent and national brands all across the UK who are doing great things on social media. And it doesn't matter whether you are a place, you could be a bid, you could be, as I say, a shopping centre, or you could be an independent retailer. It doesn't matter who you are. The idea is that anything that we cover today, you should be able to take back as ideas for your own social media. So we're actually going to look at a couple of different ones today. We're looking at Superdrug, Cowshed, we are looking at Duck and Dry, and we're looking at Parie's Hair Studio. So a bit of beauty, a bit of kind of like overall wellness, but the idea is that they're doing really cool things on social, the stuff that we can learn from them, and then it's looking at how you can apply that to your own business as well. The way that I actually find these guys is that I go onto Maybe and I go to groups, and within groups you can see, you can look at you can look at groups that you've created. So it might be that you've created so say, I don't know, you are a gym, you might have created a whole load of other gyms that you want to look at and monitor what they're doing on social media. Equally, you might have multiple locations to your business, so you can create a group there where you can engage with all of the different posts that they do. But equally, there's public groups. So in the public groups, what you can do is you can look at all the businesses that are doing well in a particular sector. You can see all of their posts, and then you can maybe engage, or you can just get some ideas. Basically, what I did was I went into public groups for this, and then I also then went into location as well. So I decided I want to look at leads. So I wanted to look at leads to find an independent business that I could feature for today, and I found quite a few that were doing really well within the sort of like beauty sector. And then I'm going to use one of them today for a case study. So it's a really good way of, you know, as we said here, prioritizing your channels by learning from your competition. But essentially, it is about getting inspiration. It's about seeing what is working for other people and then looking at how you can do that yourself. The reason why we do this is because 79.1% of consumers in the UK spend over an hour on social media per day, and then only 19% of businesses have active social media accounts. So that is absolutely massive when it comes to the gap. And what we want to try and do each week is come up with some ideas on how you guys can bridge that gap, get more confident in social media. One of the biggest things usually is generating content. So we're even doing all that kind of stuff for you with all the great tools that we've got on Maybe. We help over 25,000 businesses get more out of social media. So we look at ways that you can compare your social media with any other business. So quite literally, I could go on there today and look at any other marketing agency. I could look at any, as I said, any gym. I could look at any personal trainer. I could look at anybody basically that's got an active social media account. You're able to go in and look at and see what they're up to on social. You can see their ads. You can see their you know, what hashtags they're using. You can see whether they're getting good engagement, bad engagement, all that kind of stuff. And then it means that you can start comparing, contrasting, and learning. We've got all the social media tools and insights you need to use social media more effectively. So equally, what you can do is you can go in and you can schedule. We have an amazing AI system in there just now, which actually generates content for you. So if you've not tried it yet, please do. And then there's loads of other amazing resources, training, etc., to help you communicate better. Okay, so we're going to get started with Superdrug. So interesting thing with Superdrug, right? They're really different to quite a lot of brands. There's not many brands in the UK that do this, and I don't know why. Because, so obviously they're a big, huge brand. Very well known, especially across the UK. They've obviously want to drive you into their physical stores, but they also have an online section and they want to promote what they do online as well. But ultimately, it's about footfall driving and brand awareness using the brands that they house. So if you think about it, you know, they don't really sell much, you know, like of their own like products, if you like. Everything is very much, you know, about the brands that they've got. So it's a bit like a shopping centre, if you like, in that way. So with Superdrug, Instagram is where they do a lot of great stuff. And as you can see, they've got their Superdrug. So there's a big account there. And then what they do is they empower their local stores to actually have their own social media, which I think most businesses should do. So if you think about, if you've got multiple locations, guys, one of the biggest things that you can do is have one main account for, like all of your, bits and bobs really. But if you've got good staff at your local, in your local areas, empower them, let them do their thing. But you can use maybe to help train them. You can give them, national content or content that they can do, in the multiple locations. It might be that your hair salon, you've got a few locations in, I don't know, Essex or somewhere like that. You can empower them by giving them some content, then giving them the training, the tools that they need to then empower themselves and do their own local stuff as well. Because guess what? People recognize if something is just sort of like national. And I think that empowering your team means that, I would know what was in that Battersea one. I would know to go to Battersea and that I would get that foundation and that kind of thing. Now, here, what they've done is they have got one of their beauty consultants. So they, as you can see, obviously, what they do, they work with influencers. They're always working with the brands, and they get, a lot of the branded content from the brands. But, whilst it gets likes and stuff, it doesn't really get masses of engagement in comparison to this kind of thing. So this is a real genuine person who genuinely works there as a beauty consultant with Olay UK, and obviously works with them as part of like their partnership. And what she's doing is she's talking about why you should use Olay retinol as part of your nighttime routine. So let's have a look at it. So what I really like about this is she's not even like edited it, like they've put it up. She has, just done a face to camera. It's, quick, simple, easy. It's just her talking about it, showing the cream. She's not even, like putting it on anyone or really talking for ages about loads of benefits of it and things like that. She's just going bish, bash, bosh. This is what it is. This is what it does. It's lovely. Come and get it now. And then she even stops at the end to turn off the phone, which I kind of quite like. I really like it, the fact that she's kept it quite rough and ready, I guess. But obviously all the branding's in the background, but it's so it says, learn from Therese, beauty consultant, why you should use Olay retinol as part of your nighttime routine. So you're learning, it's about education, it's having a real person. People buy from people also buy from educated people. So she clearly knows what she's talking about. She's one of their consultants, so she understands the skincare. She's got amazing skin herself. She's got a really good routine clearly, and so she's clearly a good example to have there. So if you have a particular product to sell, a really good way of doing it is to actually do a piece to camera, actually get on there, talk about it, talk about the feel, the look, the touch, the smell, talk about the benefits of it, or why, the USPs, the unique selling points about why people should do this. And it's generated them so much more engagement. So you can see people have said my absolute favorite is a real multitasking ingredients done one to my skin, looking 8 to 10 years younger. I might have to try this myself. I'd love this product. I've seen such an improvement in my skin. I love this cream so much. I recommend it to all my friends. I love them. I love using them. People absolutely love it. So as you can see, from my perspective, it's a win-win, because you've got the trust and authority of somebody who's, who knows what they're talking about. You've got a real person, and it's quite, it's not like some like really polished post that, is taking hours for them to edit. You've then got, the two creams, and she's talking about how they work and blah, blah, blah. You've got a cream that obviously people clearly use and absolutely love, but it's something to drive engagement. So it's a really, really good idea. Well done to them. And as you can see, this one's quite interesting. So this is Superdrug Battersea, really, really different. So naturally, because obviously it's not national, although they do use some of the national polls, they don't have, they don't have the same sort of level of following. They don't have the same engagement, but that's why I really like it. This. Come and see Angel today for some amazing recommendations and take advantage of our buy one, get second half price across all fragrances. This is brilliant. So you've got a real life person, Angel. She works there. you know, it might be that I know her and I immediately want to go in and like sort of comment on it, or it might be that I don't know her and I immediately want to go down and find out a little bit more. You know, it's that kind of thing that, you know, people buy from people. So I really, really like it. So naturally, it's not going to get the same amount of engagement as the national one, but there's no reason why you couldn't. So if you are a local store, if you're a local retailer, think about this. So think about what works for the national. What works for the national is that face to camera chat. So could we have got Angel going in there and literally spraying the different ones and talking about, you know, I don't know. So say you were buying it for a friend. Okay, so it's, you know, hashtag National Best Friends Day, for example. Going in, buying for a friend, and then she's talking about, I don't know, one smells a bit more florally, one smells a bit more X, Y, and Z. So you can see what I mean. The difference between her talking about it would make me more interested in going down there versus just showing a picture of her. Does that make sense? So have a wee think about that. So if it works for the national brand, there's no reason why it can't work for the local brand. It's just about tweaking it. Okay. Cowshed. So if you haven't heard of Cowshed, Cowshed is, oh, it's just amazing. You can go there for the day and it's like a kind of like beautiful spa experience, and it's all the things. It is wellness all wrapped up in a lovely massagey, yoga filled, everything smells amazing kind of package, right? Now, Cowshed's been going for a little while. I think they've just celebrated their 25-year anniversary or birthday, whatever you want to call it. And they've got quite a loyal following. So what they've done, so this, I want to talk about two things, right? So the first one I want to talk about is the one on the left, right, which is their general content. So this is their Instagram. And what they've done is they've teamed up with yoga, I think it's yoga. Is it yoga? Yes, teamed up with yoga, and they're doing like a kind of wellness retreat at their location. And they've teamed up with somebody who clearly, you know, is like a sort of influencer, but, you know, got a loyal following on social media. She's got an amazing following because she does yoga. So they've teamed up with her, brought her along for the day, and she's then filmed her experience. So we're just going to have a wee look at it. So that is all of the things, right? So if you're a brand like that, right, it is understanding your audience, right? You're all about wellness. You're all about attracting people that are already into their wellness. You don't have to convince them. It's not, you know, you're not going to try and attract somebody who's never done any exercise in their life, never done any yoga in their life, and, you know, has never gone for a facial. You want people who invest already in their health, wellness, beauty, that kind of thing, right? To get them down. So you know your audience first of all. So think about that when you're planning content. Then you think about, well, what are my audience influenced by? Well, guess what? Most of them are influenced by influencers on social media or people of authority in a particular thing. If you do yoga, you do retreats, all that kind of stuff, the best partnership you can do is with a brand or a person who represents that thing. So you go to them and say, would you like to do something joint together? You know, some kind of partnership, some kind of affiliation, some kind of competition, some kind of event. You go to them and say that. You then pull it together, put it on social media, and then there's the tease. And that's what's great. She has shown the ground, so immediately, you know, that's been shown to all their audience. So anybody who hadn't been to Cowshed before is immediately like, oh, that looks amazing. She's shown a bit of the sequence, so she's not shown all of it. So if you are somebody that is really into their yoga practice and that kind of thing, then you're immediately going to think, oh my God, I really want to do that at home. So she's then asked you, if you want to then get that, to comment below. And then she will then film that sequence, and then that's a follow-up. So think about all those things. A, understanding your audience. B, collaboration. C, collaborating with somebody that's actually going to have a positive impact on your audience. So think about what makes them tick, what makes them interested, what do they want to know, what kind of thing can you do? Only give them half of it. Don't give them the full thing. Make them want more and ask them to do a thing to get them to want more. And then the last thing then is the follow-up. So you're basically getting a double whammy. You're driving football, you are collaborating, but you're driving people online as well to engage. And then you're asking people to then come and re-engage with the end video. It is such a good idea. Okay, so then we've got this. So this is their Facebook. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is because it's really, really interesting. So this got them a massive amount of engagement on social media. So their Facebook is definitely not where they get most of their engagement. They tend to get it on Instagram. But basically what they did was they did a bit of a rebrand. So they did a bit of a refresh of their branding. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. And, it's gorgeous packaging. Everything's very natural and lovely. So this was a little while ago. So this was introducing all new look and feel of Cowshed, while the quality of our products, our commitment to natural ingredients remain unchanged. We've updated our packaging to make them a little more sophisticated. So what's changed? So they've changed the names. They have updated their bottles and boxes. They commissioned an artist to create new botanical illustrations. They've updated their website and their social channels. And then they've talked about what stays the same. Now, the comments. I absolutely love the old marketing. It was unique and really stood out. Great products, but not keen on the packaging. Love the products, but not sure on the service. Disappointed that you've changed everything. Right. When you do any kind of rebrand, now the reason why I'm showing this is because even though it was a while ago, it was really, really relevant. If you do a rebrand, you change anything. If you've been there for a little while, people get mega invested in your business. People think it's theirs. People become, if they're regular users. So whether it's a gym, whether it's a cafe, a deli, a shopping center, anything like that. And I remember this when I worked for shopping centers. It's the same. People are like, well, this is mine. And why are you changing it? I don't like change. People do not like change. People are scared of change. You need to take them along the journey of the change. So now, I don't know whether they did this in Dribs and Drabs, but I haven't seen it. They did. If I was doing this as a rebrand, or you're doing anything, right, get people invested in it. So even if you already have commissioned the artist to, look at different things, why don't you get her to do different styles and then put it on Instagram and Facebook and say, what is your favorite? We're going through this rebrand. We want to know your thoughts on, that what we should choose. And it might be that you still go with something different. The point is that people feel valued, they feel important. People love giving opinions. It's an extra way of driving engagement. So then you don't get this. You don't then get the, oh my God, why did you change it? You didn't tell me about it. People they don't like it. So if you take them along on the journey, they're much more likely to then get behind it and be advocates of whatever it is you're changing. I had the same thing with the shopping centers. We moved chairs. Around the shopping center. People didn't like it. We had letters, emails, phone calls saying, why did you move my chair? Don't like the new chair. They're uncomfortable. And what we then did was say, fine, let's get you all in. Let's look at alternative chairs. And then let's look at where we think they should be. What kind of size of back should they be? Blah, blah, blah. We gave people options. And then when we then replaced stuff, we didn't get a single complaint. And to be honest, the difference in terms of the chairs wasn't massive. But the point is that you bring people in on the journey. So I just wanted to mention this because you all do, you all do brand refreshes, you'll all do website refreshes, you'll do new products, you might change your business a little bit, you might update the paint. Take people along on the journey, ask people's opinions. Should we go pink or red? Should we choose this chair or that chair? It doesn't matter if you've got your own ideas anyway. People want to feel involved. So yeah, I just thought I would show that. So that way you then get maybe 86 likes and 30 comments that are positive rather than, it being a bit more, oh, I don't like this, and why have you done it? Duck and Dry. So this is they're based sort of all around London, really lovely, fancy, sort of blow dry bar. You can go in and get just loads of bits done to make you feel rather fabulous. But Duck and Dry, obviously, funnily enough, they're called Duck and Dry. Therefore, they like to do bits and bobs with their Instagram with little ducks on it. And I'll show you this one first because it's just, oh my God, it's just so cute. So this was during the very, 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 very big heat wave that we had very recently, which seems to have gone because I'm pretty much back in my winter clothes. And what they did was, this was a week ago, and it says cooling off the only ducking, I'm saying that really carefully, cooling off the only ducking way we know how, right? And it's got the little emojis, the little ducks, and the water, hashtag duck and dry, hashtag heat wave, hashtag cute ducks, right? So this is them with these cute little ducklings all jumping into like a little bowl of water, all the flowers, it's all the things. Let's have a look at it. Simple. It is the simple, simple things, right? Now, your brand might be nothing to do with ducks, but guess what? You could have shared that. You could share that and say, cooling down the only way we know how. You could say, oh, hashtag wish I was a duck today. It could be, you know, anything like that. Hashtag jealous of ducks, you know, like, though you could take that video and share it yourself. And the reason why is because it is time relevant. When it's hot, if you're not talking about the heat, you're not talking about, you know, I don't know, like that whole POV when the sweat, you know, your makeup's running off, you know, all that kind of stuff on social media. That's what gets you engagement. It is timely, it is relevant, it is where people are right now, and that is what you want to be talking about. So make sure you look at things like that and go, whilst yes, it's perfect for their brand, it's generic. Anybody could do something like that. It just works particularly well for theirs. And of course, the little kind of tongue-in-cheek ducking is quite cute as well. But yeah, people have loved it. They've gotten involved in it. It's really, really sweet. Really, really like that. And as you can see, what they do most with their Instagram is everything's very branded. It's that kind of like sort of duck egg, funnily enough, kind of color, the turquoise. Everything's very beautiful. It shows their salons. Everything's all very gorgeous. But what they did do was they did a wee competition, which I actually really liked. So this was a competition, win the ultimate glow up, enjoy a blow dry and a wardrobe refresh with your bestie for the ultimate summer glow up. The prize was a £200 voucher for you and your BFF. So that was them teaming up with another brand. 2 duck and dry blow dries and a preheat prep hair primer spray worth £62. And then all you need to do is like the post, tag your bestie, and make sure that you're following. So that was really, really simple. And that is basically, you could use a template from Canva or any other of the, you know, templates you could do, to be honest, on Reels, whatever. But basically they've got the images of what you could win. So they've got the outfits, they've got, you know, the style. So they've got, you know, both brands are very well represented in the images, and then they've just got the duck and dry, then they've got the win in the middle, so you know straight away it's a competition. So again, that's that, if you're just flicking through, make sure that it's clear that it's a competition from the image as well as from the caption. They've done a collaboration, so both brands, basically you already have to be following them, and then you need to follow them. So it basically means that you're getting 2 bites of the cherry. Their people are going to like your people, their people are going to come to your account, and then vice versa. And then it is simple. Keep your competitions really, really simple, and always try and get them to do something like tag a friend. It is the best way of getting more of the same people to your social media. So ask them to like it, tag a bestie, and then be following is a great way. And then of course, like, people have absolutely loved it. They've really gotten into it. 590 likes, loads and loads and loads of comments. And then giveaway closed. So then they've gone in afterwards and they've said it's closed, so then nobody keeps doing it. Really, really good. So think about that when you're thinking about your giveaways. This is an indie, and I absolutely love this. So I'm going to show you a couple of things with their Facebook. So I found this, I remember I showed you in the beginning, I found this by going on to look at public groups, and I started looking at wellness and beauty and that kind of thing. And then I thought, oh, I kind of want to find like a nice local. So I picked Leeds, just totally random. And I just love this. Love, 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 love. So dream team. So the team that I've always wanted, filled with love and laughter, where teamwork is our main priority. I love each and every one of these girls like my sisters. Yes, it's my name above the door, but PHS would not run like it should without each of them. I'm forever grateful. The team that keeps on growing, but will only allow in love and laughter. Now, if that's not gush, 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 then I do not know what is. That is the biggest love in I've ever seen in my life for a team. It's amazing. There, they've got that kind of like party wall in the background. So, you know, it's beautiful. It's all feathery and gorgeous. They've got the Let's Party, and then everyone's all wearing their sort of like nude and natural colors. So they've got their whole team in you know, like almost like uniform, but not uniform. Everyone's sexy and gorgeous and amazing. And the team is clearly a team that all absolutely love each other. And I think that is the key here. People have, so they've got 97 comments, sorry, 8 comments, 3 shares and 97 likes. People have really enjoyed it. And actually this was for their, I think this was for their birthday, putting the salon's 7th birthday celebrations on hold. They decided to hold a little party for their staff just to say thank you very much for what they've done. So remember, people buy from people. People absolutely love to see the team behind it. They want to see the ethos. They want to understand like, I guess, you know, who they're going to be engaging with, particularly when it comes to hair as well. And you know, it's like, you know, it's a very personal thing, and you want to trust the salon that you're going to, so it develops that trust, and it shows, you know, that you're a business with a heart, that, you know, it's not all about you, you know, it's actually about the team that's behind you, because actually you wouldn't be able to do the job that you do without them. So I absolutely love this. And then the other really interesting one that I saw, which I really, really liked, so this, right? If you want to show people where you are, and it's not just a kind of, especially if you're moving locations or anything like that, I really, really like this. This is something you could literally do on Canva. It is so, so simple. All they've done is they've taken a template with the phone. They've added in like new locations. They've added in that in the background. They've taken the Google Maps image and they've added it into the phone. And then they've done the little arrow, and then they've put the address in there. So we've moved on Tuesday the 12th of September. We'll open our door to a brand new salon. Here's the details. It's only 170 yards. This is 30 seconds walk. There's a free car park opposite and a bus stop outside. So they're basically telling us how to get there. They're giving us information on exactly where it is. I can see the Google location. It is just such a good idea. The other thing you could do really cheekily is you could link that image to Google Maps, so that then if I'm, you know, whatever, I might live 20 minutes away, then it'll automatically then see that location, and then it'll ask me if I want directions to get there. So that immediately makes me want to book. So if you want to educate people on where you are, or, you know, location, anything like that, use those kind of cool templates. They're all sitting in Canva, they're all sitting waiting on you. And it honestly would take minutes to do, but looks super, super professional. Yeah, really, really liked that as a concept. So I just wanted to show that to you guys. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to look at some of the national days that are coming up. Now, one of the biggest things that people can do is to leverage the national campaigns that are coming up. So it might be, you know, hashtag World Dog Day, Yoga Day. It might be something really big, like Black History Month, massive. It might be something to do with empowering women. It might be something to do with men, you know, whatever it is, I guess, that, you know, would speak to your audience. We've got all of them now all plugged into the systems. They're all plugged into Maybe. When you go into your calendar, you can see them there. So you can see that all of the, as you go into scheduling your content, it'll come up with all the national days, and then literally you can use the AI tool to click into it and then start generating content straight away. But what I want to do was look at what's coming up. So I think what we'll do is go straight to October, because we're already on the 20th. Oh my goodness, why? How's it the 20th? Right, so let's have a wee look and see what's coming up. So I mean, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is always massive, always topical. Everybody has been touched by breast cancer in some way, shape, or form, at the very least cancer, but breast cancer is massive. So think about all of the breast cancer and the race for lives that will be coming up. You know, could your team all do a race for life? Has breast cancer touched you in some way? Could you share your story? Is there a donation box that you could put in your place to do some donations? Could you do some fundraising stuff with your team? Could you create a pink product for breast cancer and give, I don't know, 10% to breast cancer? Now that is all literally off the top of my head. That took me 2 minutes to think of. It is a massive, massive topic. It is something that touches everybody and it hits people in the feels. You know, it's something that really connects with people. So if you are looking for something, you know, to do over the month of October, and it could be something that maybe you just do need like some little camaraderie, something to do with your team, think about that. Think about doing something for breast cancer awareness. So you got something really simple at International Coffee Days on the 1st of October. If you sell coffee, do something for International Coffee Day. That's all I'm saying. It could be asking people what their favorite thing is, asking people what they have with their coffee. It could be doing polls on Facebook, you know, or on Instagram. It could just be asking, how do you like your coffee? You know, sugar, no sugar, simple like that, syrup, you know, all those kind of things. Equally, you could do something that drives people from social media down to your physical place. So I've seen people go, right, for today only, the first 10 people that come down to the shop and say, coffee, or you know, you could ask them to do something silly like penguin, whatever you want to do, then they get a free coffee or they get a free cake with their coffee. You know, it's a way of then showing that people are genuinely seeing your social media and then coming down to do it, and then you can actually take some pictures and videos and stuff like that while you're doing it so that you can show that it is done. So really, really good. Obviously, Vegetarian Day is absolutely massive. So why not do something for that? If you are vegetarian, if your team members are vegetarian, you could share recipes, you could share anything like that. You could do a vegetarian menu for the day if you're a restaurant, you know, loads of options there. So I mean, that is literally off the top of my head, just looking at those. Look at all of the national days that are coming up. So make sure you go in, have a look at your calendar, see what's coming up, and then see what you can do to create content around the national days. Because guess what? The whole point is that people are already talking about that. It's already a topic of conversation. People are looking at it. People are thinking about it. People are, you know, it's like walking into a party, right? And there's a group of people and they're all talking about, it could be anything, you know, like it could be the royal family, it could be a gig that they went to last Tuesday. Anything, they're all there talking about a thing. You then join that conversation and then you join in and you put your 2 pence worth in, and then that is how the conversation grows. That's how then they go back and they talk about, oh, I met, you know, Donna today and she was saying this about this. It is, social media is exactly the same. They're all talking about a topic. You get in there, you post about the topic, you like and engage in the hashtag and like other people's stuff. Because they're talking about it, they're much more likely to come back to you. And the algorithm from like how social media works means that the more people are talking and engaging with you, the more people are showing your social media. That's it. So remember, all the social media tools, we do all of them. So you can schedule, there's advertising, there's content creation through AI, there's reporting, and you can learn from any other competitor. We do drop-in sessions like this every week. So on a Monday, it's how to use Maybe. On a Tuesday, it's social media basics. On a Wednesday, there's me. Thursday, ads for beginners. Friday, advanced ads, and then there's always on training. So we work week in and week out to deliver some great training for you guys. Well, we think it's great. So great training for you guys, where you can learn from either other people or it's how to do actual things. So like literally how to create a reel. We've got all like loads of great tools in there just at your fingertips. So key takeaways from me are: use experts to sell your products. People buy into people and their expertise. So thinking back to Cowshed, and equally thinking back to Superdrug, you know, using, you know, either it might be a girl that works on the counter that, you know, really knows the product. It might be one of your baristas. It might be, I don't know, somebody in your place that really knows how to tie a tie and wants to do like the perfect, I don't know, top tip for how to tie a tie or how to pack a capsule wardrobe, anything like that. People buy from people. So get them out front and center and get them showing things and showing their knowledge. If you're changing up your brand or switching things, then have a strategy for any customer feedback. So make sure you're ready, that people don't like change. People especially don't like change if they don't know about it and need to be brought along in the journey. So make sure that you bring them along in the journey by asking them questions, getting opinions, and then going, based on your feedback, we've done this, and people will get much more behind it. Use video content to create engagement teaser opportunities like Cowshed. So think about the fact that they worked with the, you know, the yoga lady and the yoga teacher, obviously influencer. So she's got a big audience. She clearly knows her stuff. So she's created a sequence, but I do yoga, so I want to know more about that sequence. So I'm more likely to come back. So it's, rather than giving them the whole thing, you give them a taste and then make them come back for the rest of it. stay relevant and comment on what's happening in the world. Think heat waves, if it's, it's windy as anything at the moment. So it could be something to do with the wind. I saw an amazing one today, and it was Sara De Silva, who I featured on here a few times, and she showed herself at the top of a mountain, and I think she's in Ibiza, I think, or somewhere like that. She's away in somewhere really lovely and sunny, and it was her going, this is the rest of the world, and it was this calm, beautiful. There was, it was all very calm and serene, and then it went to the UK and Ireland, and literally it was her her hair blown around and all crazy, and that was like a little reel. So think about temperatures. It might be what's going on in the world that's not too controversial in the news, maybe things like that. Keep competition simple and use collaboration. So again, it's going back to what Duck and Dry did. Celebrate your wins in your team. So thinking about what, again, that Paris did, the independent hairdressing salon. So think about celebrating your wins, your team. If you really bloody love your team, then just talk about it. That's what you should be doing. So because people buy from people and people want to know what's going on. Also think about that location thing. I just really, really loved it. It was such a good, as in I genuinely might use that for a couple of businesses that I work with as well, because it's just such a good way of showing that where you guys are. And then just set up your media account to get started. We want to help you guys learn, and we want to help you guys grow. The more that you guys grow, the more that we can learn from you guys and learn what kind of topics or conversations you need, what topics you need to look at for training. So make sure you always give us feedback as well. Use the little magic blue button on maybe